South Sudan's parliament has passed a bill designed to regulate the country's first ever national elections, scheduled for late next year. Conflict and political uncertainty ensured that the election was continuously postponed following independence in 2011. However, that new legislation has sparked protests now by supporters of Sudan's People's Liberation Movement in opposition, also known as SPLM Group. Here's CGTN's Patrick Oyet reporting from Juba.
Elections in South Sudan are due next year, but the preparations are already underway. South Sudan's ruling party, headed by President Salva Kiir, has amended the new election bill, increasing the size of the National Assembly to 332 lawmakers. But the new legislation is being rejected by an opposition group led by Vice President Riek Machar. The group says the election bill had initially proposed the number of MPs to be trimmed to 250.
The House is there to add anything that they think can make a good law in the country. It is that prerogative is with the House, and it is constitutional, and it is also in the regulation that we call conduct of business regulation, which regulates the House.
In July 2011, South Sudan gained independence from Sudan following a referendum. The planned elections in 2024 will be the first since South Sudan gained independence 12 years ago. South Sudan's constitution provides for elections to be held after every 5 years. However, years of civil war have halted the democratic process. Now the ruling party has granted the special power to appoint 5% of lawmakers to whoever will become the president after next year's ballot. President Kiir's group says the powers granted to the new leader is meant to give wider representation to special interests and minority groups. Vice President Machar's group, known as the Sudan People's Liberation Movement in opposition, opposes any such appointments.
Election must be democratic. If you appoint, is it an election? Is it a democracy? This one, our constitution says we shall be democratic nations. That means we shall go for elections and we will accept the results.
The country's current leader, Salva Kiir, has declared that he will contest in the election. The United Nations says President Kiir has made a commitment that South Sudan will not return to war and that the elections will be held on time. Patrick Oyet, CGTN, Juba, South Sudan.